So, as you see with this video, I'm on the way home back to Montreal. I believe this is from Quebec City to Montreal, but I often take trips from Ottawa to Montreal as well, or vice versa. So it could easily be from Ottawa to Montreal, but I'm pretty sure that this is one of my trips from Quebec City to Montreal. I often use Via Rail, which is the Amtrak of Canada. And I do recommend using Via Rail at least once during your travels in Canada. I enjoy the train. I definitely have a love affair of trains. Now I know there's a lot of upgrading and a lot of improvement that needs to be made with public transportation in Canada. We're not a country that's known for our trains, unfortunately. And I think as much as I understand that on a business level, on a practical level, things need to be improved. On the other hand, I definitely like the more relaxed. It takes a couple hours to get from, Ottawa to Montreal or from Quebec City to Montreal. I like that. I like the slower pace of it. The more it's going to take a while to get back home. Obviously there's certain times, when it's 10 p.m. at night that you're leaving. Obviously you want to get home pretty quickly, but for me, for the most part, if it takes 2 hours, 3 hours, I'll take the last trip, which usually in the weekends is 6 p.m. I'm usually home by 9:30 at latest, and for me that's absolutely fine. The 2 hour, 2 hour and a half trip is absolutely fine for me. But again, I get it if you're on business, or there's a medical emergency or something like that. 2 hour, 3 hour trip is not the ideal. So I understand if there's improvements that need to be made. But also just the fact that the Canadian landscape is something that for me should be enjoyed in a long span, right? You should be able to sit there and enjoy for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever amount of time that it takes to enjoy the landscape that Canada has to offer. So I'm not against longer trips, but again, I get it. It's not for everybody, but I definitely enjoy these trips. Now, one of these things that I have done as of late is going to Ottawa, or Quebec City, I should say. I'll take what's called a ride, so POP a ride. And this is it's sort of like Uber, but for more long distance travel. So if you need to quote unquote rent a car, but you don't necessarily want to drive, this way you can spend maybe 20, 30, maximum like 45, 50 bucks to go to a particular city. And then what I would do coming back, I would take the business class of Via Rail, which basically means that the meal is free, alcohol is free, everything. Even I can go 20, 30 minutes before the trip and have access to the lounge with food and drink there as well. So I definitely recommend that if you can. Obviously, it's not mandatory to travel via business class, but I've definitely appreciated having the bigger leg room. I know in other videos I've mentioned that it's nice to not have kids, because look, I'm not going to be, out here pretending or lying to you guys. It is sometimes annoying to have the baby that's screaming and crying. And look, I'm not against families traveling. If you need to take the train back home, by all means take the train home, whether you have kids or not. That's definitely your right. You can travel however you want, but it's obviously in business class you're then not to deal with children and screaming babies and so forth. And as a person without kids, it's definitely appreciated to be in an area that doesn't have kids, usually has more leg room, free meals, free drinks, everything. So it's definitely a lot more appreciated. Take that as you will, but I personally enjoy spending that little extra money to have a little bit more benefits. And being able to get there, in the train a little bit sooner, not being as rushed, as pressured as I would. And you get told, hey, it's time to get boarding. So priority boarding for me is something that has become more important. But again, this is just my personal experience. You guys absolutely have the right to disagree with me and to have a different opinion on the matter than I do. I'm certainly not out here trying to tell you you have to experience via rail the same way I do. It's certainly a unique experience. I definitely recommend that you try the different, both the economy and business class. Experience both. See for yourselves which one you prefer. If like some of the economy class can be as cheap as $30. So I definitely don't blame you if you say, hey, you know what, I don't want to spend the extra 40 to 100 and $40 more for the business class. I definitely don't blame you. It's definitely sometimes a bigger difference. And that's what a lot of people tend to look at the business class. Oh, it's so much more expensive. I've seen some of the business class. If you're willing to go during the week, it's $70 to go, or versus $30 for the economy class. So you're basically spending $40 difference. It's not a huge difference. But that's just, again, my personal experience, my personal opinion. I'm not affiliated with Via Rail, so you guys take it as you will. All right. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are and your opinions. If you have suggestions, let me know. Have a great day, guys.